Alrighty. Welcome to the Anarchy Trading live trading session, I guess. A lot going on right now. And we're not going to have any trading tomorrow because I'm going to be taking a rock climbing class. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some trading today and hopefully make some profit. We are currently at break even for the week, and I'd really like to see us be able to make some money and make some profit. So the start of this week, start of today, let's go check the news. I know some news just dropped for the pound, which probably is going to affect. I thought it was for the pound today. No, I guess not. I thought there was some news for the pound or something. I guess the only news would be for the euro, and that's at 3 o'clock. So and it's yellow this folder. So we could say honestly, nothing should be affecting our trading today, which is good to know. So let's go on over to a trading view. And we could actually review. We could review the trades that I've taken. How our week is gone. Let me go look at my FX book. So we're up 4.1 on this account right now. And as you can see, we were up at 4.3 end of last week's on the 9th, went down to 3.2, made it all the way up to 5.1. Had a couple little downs where we do a couple days where we had not much has happened. So we're at 4.1 right now. Um, so what we're gonna do is see if we can gain that back. Oh, okay. I thought we were up on the week. We're not. So we're down 0.5 percent for the week. So let's see what we can do in order to see if we can increase that. So let's head over to TradingView and we'll start doing our charting for the week. Let me just make sure our live stream is running. And it does appear that our live stream is running, which is good. So let me move over here to our charts. I'll open up MT4 here also so that you can see that. Let me see here. Let me open MT4 and get that sharing. Or should I say MT5? Wow, can't talk today. MT5. So and I clearly need to learn more about how to actually adjust these windows, have this going. So it's doing this, have this preset up, but that's okay. For now, we will eyeball it. There we go. Looks like we've got it going. So okay. So we're on the daily. Let's go start with DAX again, as always. Yesterday we did call it going bearish, and it indeed did. Too bad we didn't catch some more pips on that one. Honestly, I was a bit disgusted, but it did it after I was done trading for the day anyway. So we could always say we wish we could have. But again, there's that's not how we trade. So we have broke down below these, we closed below these wicks, went up and retested slightly, and now we're still driving down. So let's start by drawing our daily high and low. We're kind of at the low of day right now. Gonna make these purple. And now we're going to start drawing in some lines about where price could go if we go bullish. So first line would probably be here. We have essentially the close of this day, open of this day, this wick, all kind of in the same area, as well as over here you can see the close and open of these days plus these wicks. Yeah, so that's why I put that there. Other one we could then go here, which is the close of this day plus the open, plus it covers this gap. There was this gap earlier this week from the open of the Monday. And so we could put a line on the other side of that gap as well. So those are some targets if price decides to go bullish. If it goes bearish, we've of course got the end of this wick. Price could then go up. We've got the open of this gap here, so the top of this gap, um, open here, wick here, and then finally, if we wanted to put one more, we could do kind of the open and close of those days and one more at that wick. So that's where price could go on the daily. Let's drop down to the hourly. Um, this is where we did a lot of trading and why I was wanting to short it because I saw all of these and then it didn't drop until yeah, I was done. It's 4:15 is when it started dropping. I'm done trading at 4. So it would have been nice to catch this move. But again, we're not really trying to catch that big of moves anyway. Um, so let's start looking at what we have going on here. I mean, honestly, there's just not much, right? Like we have some way a little based off of this, we could try to draw some more lines. Um, but it's back from March, and we already have these major daily lines, so I'm not even going to bother. Let's just let's just come over here and see what we've got. Definitely, we've got the all-time low since March, which would be right here. So let's put a green box across here. And if it drops through here, it's essentially free falling. I guarantee you there's probably quite a few stops that are underneath this. So if price comes down here, probably could see at least bounce short term. Price isn't there right now though, so where could it go in the short term? Get there. This is some hourly resistance with all those wicks. We could say the same thing happened here as well. And then honestly, probably price has done the same thing again right here, right? So we could see this happening all the way across. And then let's drop down on the 5, because again, we could and see what we have here. I'd like to see if we are going to go short for price to come down and break this. So let's see if we come down here, bounce, we're going to go up, build up, and then perhaps come down. Like we could put that there if we wanted to play a little bit more aggressive. We could put it on this line. But again, once market open, price is going to be moving more anyways. But we've been a steady downtrend all day. So let's see what happens once the market opens here in another 15 minutes. Um, we could draw a rough trend line. It's not really exact, right? But if we put something like that, and then adjust it a little bit to pull in those wicks, and a little bit something like that. Maybe we're gonna bounce off, we can get a break up and do that. So it has runaways, but again, if we look at the RSI, we've got plenty of room to keep going down. So we'll continue to wait and see and monitor this as we go. Let's move on to US 30 now while we're waiting. US 30, looking very similar. Let's do this one. Let's keep the chart we did yesterday, and let's just move our line. So again, I'll show you how I keep this trade chart going for the day. Again, we were thinking maybe we get a breakdown. We are trying to break down, but we do need to be aware that we have kind of this daily wick, 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 wick. Like prices tried to go down here a few times and it has not been able to. So what I'd like to see is, I'm going to draw a green box. If it drops, and we need to drop through here because we could also see this pick up some bids and then start driving bullish again. I don't think it's going to, but it certainly could. And these wicks kind of make me wonder. Oh, it's a good. Are we going to try to sell it and rally it up? Because essentially this was a bit of a rally over the past week or two, which is of course kind of just a retracement on the larger time frame. but we could let's wait and see because this level right here, where it kind of is right now, it also bounced a couple times over here as well, back in June. So be interesting to see what happens over the course of today and tomorrow. I just added one line. Really don't need to add much. Price isn't going to move that much during this session. We could do this one right here too. Okay, move that one up a little bit. Maybe we put a red line, which is kind of just a halfway point in here if we wanted a midway target. Now let's move. Oop, oop, oop. Didn't put our daily, drag our daily rise. So let's just drag our daily high and low down. There we go. And now on the 5, looking very similar to DAX. We also have this big red candle over here from yesterday. Kind of gone to fill that wick, bounce down kind of. We could potentially short it if it dropped here. Like that. Had Tate try to fill in this wick and go for the low of day. That's a possibility just because, and the reason I do that is because we did have come here, had a strong bounce, didn't go up much higher, hit the 9, came back down, tried again, wasn't able, went back up. So now if it drives back down, retest, then I would be potentially considering that it might be possible to short it. But for now, no short. And if it goes above this, then we could consider, and we've seen it, here's a big bullish candle going. We could consider going long. As I said, we've dropped a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me if we at least have a bit of a bullish push for a little bit today before continuing on. But also, based off our daily chart, we could also see this pivot and start to go bullish as well. Reason I'm putting this red line here is simply because we have these wicks, all of these wicks, and this wick, these kind of were just pushed through and dropped right back down. So sure, you could say, okay, maybe you want to put it up to the top of here, which would be a bit more conservative. But for me, if it did close above the red, came down and showed me some momentum going bullish, then I would still be willing to get in on that. So, that's it. Where are some other 5-minute mark? Like where would our next targets be? Kind of, I would say this level here would be a target. And then finally, it's real choppy up here, but somewhere just up here once we get through all that consolidation here, which is pretty ugly. So we're seeing a big push right here on this 5-minute candle. I wonder if DAX is doing the same thing. Let's go take a look at DAX. DAX are saying the same thing. So we've broken that trend line. We're pushing bullish. Let's see what we do in the next 3 minutes. Again, you could buy. You could if you bought this. It's a big candle. Is it going to just snap back? Is it going to come up here, pick up some stop losses from some people who are shorting, getting in on the short action, and then just drive back down? We don't know yet. So again, we're going to just wait patiently. We're going to look at our spreads. Wow, those are some crazy candles. And I don't think any news dropped. As we said, we were looking, and there's no news for today. It's the 19th. Currently 117, correct? Yeah, no news. Just a big push. So let's go back and look at US 30 because I think that just broke our mark. So let's see what US 30 does in the next 2 minutes. And since we've got 2 minutes, let's quickly just I'm not going to talk us through this one because we already know what to do. I'm just gonna move my charts. If you want, you can compare it to your charting, see if your charts look similar. There's a lot of wicks over there on the left, which would be a concern to me if we break this and we're trying to go short. That's a lot of consolidation over there. A lot of wicks here. Kind of taking in these wicks, some of this wick, some of these wicks, some of these wicks. Okay. So we've got everything charted. Let's get our 3 looks here. So we have US 30 on the 5 and the 15. We're going to have DAX. Remember, DAX spreads at 1 o'clock usually suck, so I don't usually trade DAX until 1:30. And we'll pull up NAS for grins and giggles. So, if this continues to push, we're just going to let it go right now. I would like to see it come down to this thing, pick up some bid, and then we can watch it maybe perhaps go long. But right now, it's just a huge candle. And after big candles, yeah, it's usually tempting. You want to get in on the action. You don't want to miss it if it keeps going bullish. But the problem with that is these candles also tend to need to cool off. So maybe it keeps pushing, and hey, you just missed the move. But maybe it doesn't. But a lot of times, these big candles, they're going to push, make a new high, and then they're going to have to pull back. And depending where you put your stop loss, like again, if you're trading this big candle, where would you put your stop loss? You'd have to put at least half of the candle because price is definitely, there's a very good chance it comes down half the candle. But you probably need to put it lower than the 9. The 9's still down here, so you're putting, let's say you're putting it down here. That means in order to hit a decent profit target, if you were to enter now, and you put your stop loss at any reasonable place, which would be at least here, and you're wanting a 2-to-1, like you're having to target all the way up here, which is just a big move. So the reason why is I'm just going to sit here and wait. And if over the next 10, 15 minutes, we can see price continue to push it down, and we see a pivot with some momentum up, to me, that would be a good opportunity for us to consider getting in long. See, so here we go, pushing down. It's not always going to do this, but again, it went up, big spike, push down. Let's see how far it comes down. If we can see it come down again, it would be very probable that it's at least going to come down and test half of the previous candle. So half of the previous candle, eyeball it. Do you need fancy fibs for that? Absolutely not. Do you want fancy fibs? There you go. If you're including the candle and everything, that's the halfway mark. So let's get rid of that abomination, though. I don't use fibs, as you probably already know. Okay, so prices come down, retested. At least have that line. It had touched the red line, which is what I was aiming for. So now, let's wait and see what happens over the next 2 minutes and see if we can pivot on up out of here. It's coming down with some authority, and we see this big wick on the 15-minute. Again, that doesn't necessarily matter depending what happens over here, but we are definitely in a very serious downtrend. So if we take this trade, it's definitely a bit of a counter trade, right? Like we're going counter to the momentum. So we just need to be aware of that. And I'm not going to take this trade yet, but if I did, We'll need to wait and see. It'd be somewhere right there. My stop loss would again be at the kind of the top of that wick, maybe a little higher, but I don't really want it above 9, right? So right above that wick probably. And I'd be needing to see somewhere right there. And I'd be needing to see price actually start moving above that, right? So we got another minute of this candle. So we're gonna wait and see where this candle closes. If it closes above, we're gonna see will it come test half that candle, put and then just push back down, or can we actually see this start to pivot? Let's go look at DAX, which is looking very similar. My spreads on DAX are currently 2. So we can be watching both of these. DAX just did break this trend line. Again, does that really mean much though? No. But let's see what happens with these two over the next few minutes. Candle closes 15 seconds. Nas is not in a place where we can trade it right now because we're we've got all of this right here. So just we can't trade Nas right now. DAX and US 30 are both in a better place right now. So let's see, is it going to test here, or can we see pivot, make a new high, and then we hop in? We don't know yet, so let's wait and see. But I would like to see this drive down even maybe a bit further, hit the 9, and then really start pivoting out of here. Like that to me would be nice. Stop loss if we took it on the DAX would be somewhere we enter when it comes up here with some momentum. We're aiming up here. Stop loss would be below that candle, something like that. But again, I need to see some momentum. Currently not seeing much momentum. Again, that's why we're waiting. It's tempting to want to buy that green there because we did have that retest and it's green, but as you saw, there wasn't much momentum going up there. So we want to wait and see. Are we going to get some momentum, or are we going to get a bit of a, again, this is it wasn't much of a retracement. When we have these big moves, if this was just a smaller candle to poke through, that would be enough for us. But because this was such a big candle, we would anticipate price pulling back a bit more before pivoting. So that's why we're just continuing to monitor. Same thing. I mean, honestly, DAX and Dow moving pretty similar right now. Again, I've gotten burned a couple times this week. You've seen where we got in a little too early. We saw the candle, got our retest, turned green, but it just that's honestly been me trading poorly because I have been having a little bit of FOMO with this account that I'm currently up 4%. I want to pass this challenge right now, and so I've gotten in a little early. So just remember, be patient. If you miss a move, great. You don't lose money on missed moves. So big breakdown. And this is why we were waiting patiently. Trading these big candles can be dangerous. Better be patient, not enter in too early. And yeah, as we see now, check out the big wick on the 15-minute. So we're just going to continue monitoring and see what happens. We've got 2 minutes left on this candle. Are we going to be able to push and close above here again? Whereas if we close above here now, I'm going, yeah, now we got ourselves a move. But we currently don't. So yeah, hopefully you don't hear too many drills in the background. On Thursdays we change routes up in the gym. I've said before, I've got a climbing gym, and so we set new routes on Thursdays. So guys are up there setting routes, and I'll be heading up there at round 3 or something. Preferably earlier if we can catch ourselves a nice trade. So, where are we going to close here? Spread is now 6 on the DAX. So again, not doing anything on DAX. Now, it usually changes here, and it's supposed to be 130. So at 130, typically we'll see the spread on DAX here drop, which would be nice because it does look like we could potentially get a nice trade on out of here. Got 40 seconds left in the minute in the on this candle. So we're gonna have a new 15-minute, new 30-minute, and new 5-minute candle all at the same time. So we're gonna want to monitor, see which way that goes. Where are we going to close, and then which way are we going to go? So just continue monitoring both of these. Where are we going to close in the next 15 seconds? Next. All right, new candle. Let's see. Going to drive out of here. If so, if we go above here, then I would like to get in this. Yep, my spreads just dropped to 0.6 on DAX. Now looking at the DAX, not getting in yet. Don't want to get in prematurely here. Again, it'd be common to drive up half that candle and then break down. So what I want to see is it to break above here and start pushing. Until that happens, we don't have a trade. So right now we're kind of just in this consolidation area, consolidation, tried, but then just pushed directly down. So what we need to see, it did respect the trend line here. So what I'd like to see is to push. And see, this is why we're not just jumping in, because it went up half of that candle and now it's going back down. So are we going to see, if we see a rejection of this, like you could now consider, oh, do I want to go short? Now, to me, I'm not, because on the 15-minute, that very much looks like a short, right? Came up, retraced a little bit, and now it's going to drive down. So that would be another way to look at it. Doesn't look like we have a long transpiring right now. So again, no trade taken yet. Just going to continue monitoring. Price isn't doing much. Kind of just consolidating here. Price action is not great. Again, looking at it on the 5, maybe you don't really quite recognize that, but if you look at it on the 1, which you see on my MetaTrader here, I can even show you on the main screen. On the main screen, just choppy, right? We went down, but then we've gone up, we've gone down, but now we're trying to go back up. Like if we could break here, then we could say, okay, now we're maybe setting up for a short. But right now it's just right on that line where you don't really know what's happening because it's just too, like, price has moved between here and there. It's kind of just stuck in that box. So we're just going to continue watching for a couple minutes. As I said, if this does break up above here, you could tempt me to get in. Dow trying now. German 30 trying as well. Not in a trade yet, but I've got my finger on the trigger. It's kind of right, real close to that level. But I want to see it drive. I want to see it drive here. All right, I'm in. So I'm in on US 30. I like the look of it. And so we waited for it. Waited for it to build. Waited for it to come up above here. Now let's wait and see. 25 seconds left in this candle. Should I maybe have waited until this candle closed? Possibly, yes. Maybe got a little excited there. But let's see here. 12 seconds left on this candle. If we can close above this red line, that would be nice. Definitely did not. Again, this is why you wait for the new candle. Now the short that I was talking about on German 30 is going to be looking looking possible here. Oh, that's frustrating. Did waited for it to drive all the way up, which was nice. Broke the close and just maybe entered again, maybe a few seconds too early. But we've got the 9 here. We've got this wick here, so we can still see it push back up. So let's again, candlesticks don't matter too much, but we do have a lot of big red candles that are coming down here. So I did like how it looked though. Again, we were buying with momentum. Let's continue monitoring and watching what price continues to do. Again, I really don't like shorting right now just because of where that is, but if this continues to break down, we do have ourselves something that's looking like a short. Now we are trying to drive again. Hasn't been able to break down. That 9 is definitely trying to keep it. It's bounced off that 9 multiple times. That's why we're below the 9 with our stop. So we're trying to drive up again. Now, is it going to be able to break through, or is it going to again reject off here? Kind of, we've had a big wick here. So is it going to be able to drive through? Let's find out. And again, the reason I'm not shorting that yet is we are above that trend line. And I'm long on DAX. Honestly, I can't short DAX while I'm longing the Dow. Just not how it works. So, and we're still just a retracement of this big candle. So we could still see price drive up. We're seeing Dow go kind of come back up to getting close back to our entry point. So can it close above this red line, or is it going to come up? We're going to pick up 2 wicks and then just drive down. Let's continue to monitor. 2 minutes left on this candle. So price, we're trying to push up, but we keep getting pushed down. So Um, I like the fact that we're patient. We did have some patience because we waited. We didn't enter here. We didn't enter there. We waited and then entered here. So looking at this now, you go, yeah, that was premature. Wait for the candle to close 20 seconds. We should have. I didn't know we were 20 seconds away, so that's my bad for not looking. Need to really pay more attention. Um, but it did have a good look at the time we took it, and we were patient. So just I'm gonna consider I'm gonna count my wins, and this still may work out for us, right? Because the reason why we took it is because we did see upward momentum. We had the big bullish push, we had the nine, and so this is going to close in 45 seconds. If we can see this build up out of here in the next 45 seconds, we can still win this trade, right? Um, so overall, um, the reason why we're still in this trade is because we did enter patiently. Maybe not patient enough, but patiently. Because if we'd entered here, our stop loss would have been like right here, and we would have been knocked out. If we put it here, it would have been knocked out. So I had said we need to put it down there, and the reason why is because yeah, you can see price drove down. Um, but yeah, I should have waited for this. I should have waited 20 seconds to see what happened. As sits, let's see what happens in the next 10 seconds with this candle. If we can come up a little bit higher, and then continue building out, that would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. I do like the looks of it. And again, this is why candlestick patterns mean absolutely squat. Because check this out. Most people would say that this is a bearish. What do they call this? Is this a tombstone? A bullet bearish doji? I don't know. Anyways, you get the point. And that would be showing price is going to keep driving down. Well, it didn't, right? So don't let one candlestick decide if you're going to take a trade or not, because that doesn't make sense. Now, are we going to see price test half of this candle and now we keep driving up, or just going to drive down? This is irritating me. Again, this red line, we've got the nine. Uh, let's see. Kind of stuck in a range right now. Not really going anywhere. We did have a nice push here. If I'd been entering anywhere, I probably would have entered here. I would have waited, of course, for it to before I took it slightly, but it did. It opened green, so I probably would have entered. So again, to me, it's a good trade. So I'm still happy with it. So let's see if we can now continue to push. And our first target would be just essentially the top of that wick. Like it's not very far. It's going to be a 1 hour trade. Uh, if we can get momentum going over the next 20 minutes, then yeah, can we push up here? Maybe, but let's see. So we did come down. We retested this. That looks beautiful. Nice retest of this level again. And now, can we make a new high? We need to break these levels and start pushing again. So let's see what we've got. All right, I'm $1 in profit. So let's see what we can do here. So we did finally break this. And now can we push out of here? Again, it's looking good. It's looking like a good trade. This is now looks very nice. This is how I wished it looked like here. We just had to wait another candle, and this is where I would have entered, right? So I would have entered this trade, so I'm holding it. And let's see if we can now build out of here with some momentum. Again, this was a big candle. Had to retrace a little bit. It did, and now we're gonna see if we can get enough momentum to push on out of here. with the 200, the reason I'm also trading this kind of counter trend trade as well is just because look how far the 200 is above us. And again, that doesn't really matter in the long run because price is just a, 200 is just just showing you what price has been doing long term. But we are very far below it, and it does tend to attract price. So while it's a counter trend trade, the reason we took it is because that trend was essentially broken because we came down, didn't make a new lower low here, went up, tried to come down, didn't, and now we're still driving up. I mean, you could say the same thing happened here where it came down, didn't, and then kind of broke this line, but there was really no retest here. But I could have possibly, and yeah, I won't have taken this because of all this garbage. We don't have that really here, so it does look like we could potentially drive out of there. So let's continue to see. Price has really been stuck here. Not much happening. Again, I'm still $1 in profit. Risking just 50 bucks on the trade. I don't risk a lot right now. We're just trading this $10,000 challenge account. So we're risking 0.5% per trade. And the reason for that is statistically, if you trade 1%, if you have a win ratio of 50-50, which let's say a lot of traders do, or even, but let's say 50-50, the chance of you losing 10 trades in a row and blowing an account if you're trading 1% is 1 in 1,000, meaning once a year you're going to lose an account. Okay, so we closed above. Beautiful. Now, can we go down half of the candle and then continue to drive? That's what I want to see. So this still looks like a good trade. If we lose this trade, it's okay. I entered a little prematurely. I'm comforting myself though with the fact that I would have entered this trade anyway, especially with that nice breakthrough test and break. I would have entered the same place. So it actually ends up being it's gonna end up being the same thing. Um, so where was I? Oh yeah. So the chance of you losing 10 trades in a row with if your win rate's 50-50 is 1 in 1,000, which essentially works out if you're taking a few trades a day, works out to be about once a year of blowing an account. And so the chance of you losing 20 trades in a row though is like 1 in 425 million. Um, so risking 0.5%, the chances of you blowing your account, negative, well, essentially statistically pretty much impossible if your win rate's actually 50%, right? And you can manage the psychology and everything else. And so we made a so we came down, pushed up. We're driving back down, but that's okay because we made new high. We made another high. We made high. We broke these levels. So we have to come back down, pick up some liquidity, and then let's see if we can push. So let's see if this 9 can hold or just this level here. Let's see if we can hold this and continue to push up. Let's go check what else that I think. Again, DAX looking essentially mirror image. And that's why we don't short it. As I said, it looked kind of like possibly shorting, but definitely not because we're pushing back up. And the only reason is I was looking at this candle and this long downtrend, but we have broken that now. So are we going to drive down and then break through it and then go down, or are we just going to come up and push up? We don't know yet. Let's see. And then let's look at NAS. Yeah, NAS, I mean, not much we can do here with NAS. It's just in the middle of all this. Nothing you can do. You could consider possibly adding another line and going short if it breaks, like right here. But we are in Dow long, so I wouldn't take NAS short. Like I'm never going to take an indice an opposite direction of another indice. Um, they aren't always correlated, but they're definitely correlated enough where if you think one's going long, don't be shorting another one. Just don't enter one. Or if you think so, exit one. Like right now, I still think like from all indications, technically, we're going to continue going long. Um, we may not, and that's okay. Price has definitely been trying to come down, but this 9 has been holding price nicely. We see price couldn't break the 9 here, or here, or here, or here, or here. So 9 is really being respected. And again, don't trade based off of the 9. But it can be an indicator of where price may bounce. And currently, it's doing just that. Now, let's see. It's come down, retested. Now, can we keep pushing on out of here? I would love to see that. And there's only 12 minutes till market open, which now fortunately we're in the Dow, right? Which is going to be affected less than the DAX at the open, but it could still be affected. So if we can get this into positive territory, I'm gonna try to exit because we've just been playing around too long now. I was hoping with that momentum we could just drive out of here, especially following this big candle. Um, Especially with deep retracement, I thought we could just push. It's not, so we're gonna continue pushing. We've got another 50 seconds of this candle. Let's see, can we stay closed above this red line, at least above the 9? If we close below the 9, oof. 30 seconds left. Last 30 seconds is always the most important of any candle, whether it's the 5, 15, 1 hour, like the last 30 seconds of each candle is going to be a big indicator. As we saw here, we entered 30 seconds before and then it went bam, it just made us look like an idiot, right? And now we see the same thing. Last 30 seconds, we're driving up. This looks good. It's going to close above the line, which is nice. Close above the 9, another rejection of this level. Now let's see if we can start to push up. Are we going to keep pushing up, or are we going to open bearish and come down? So 10 minutes left till market open. Price is moving like a slug. Really now would love to see it break up here, make a new higher high. If we want price to keep going higher, we do need to get up there. If it just comes up here and rejects back down, maybe it picks maybe it gets enough momentum to start driving short. So let's keep watching. So we're testing this 9 again. We're gonna break it, or are we gonna drive back? Is it gonna save it here, and we're gonna continue to go back up? All right, so we've broken through so far. We've broken past the 9. Let's see what price does. Are we gonna bounce here? Are we gonna make a new lower low? Okay, no. Still driving down. We're gonna be saved here. We do have this kind of line here as well. And if we lose this, we lose it, right? Like, not a big deal. We're if you're nervous about your trade, then you're risking too much. Just take smaller size. I can lose 0.5% on every trade. It's not going to bother me, right? Because it's just a small percent. We're up 4% on this account anyway. We're down a little bit for the week, but you're going to have down weeks. If you can't handle having down weeks, then you shouldn't be trading because you're not going to win every single week. It's just not going to happen. So you're fighting the market. So this is driving down. We're about to be stopped out. Again, looking very, very bearish, but we're not stopped out yet. We're down here. Price could still turn around off of this level. Again, the reason I drew this green box is we've seen price definitely reject this level before, which it kind of is doing right now. So there we go. Nice rejection. Will we see it continue to reject and possibly even flip? Like, who knows? So let's see. That's a beautiful rejection of that level. Again, this is why we didn't move our stops, because if we put our stops right here, like we would expect price to come back down here. Look at all these wicks. And then you would have been stopped out for maybe a little less money, yes, but you're stopped out. So we're still leaving it down here where we figure price is definitely going to come back down here to test this anyway. And that's why we left it there. So we've driven all the way back up. This is a nice rejection. If we can close in the next minute above this red line, at least above this line, maybe we have enough momentum to continue driving on out of here. 5 minutes left to market open. So if we hit break even, like I'm gonna get out of this trade because we're now too close to market open for me to want to be part of it, right? Because market open, we have no idea which way it's gonna go. Like it's a crapshoot. It'll probably go both ways. So let's see what price does and where we close in the next 30 seconds. Would like to see us at least close above this red line, preferably, of course, up here. New 5 minute candle. DAX looking, again, DAX looking exactly the same. Could it drive down? Yep. But it's also this level where you could see it go back up. So um, we're in a we're in a long right now, and we're gonna stay in that right now. Yeah, we're in long. We're not gonna be committing. So now we're seeing a big candle drive up here. So let's see if we can continue to build now on out of here. I have now moved my stop loss because I don't know where price is going to go. And if it drives back down, then like, yeah, like we're just getting knocked out, right? So we've had a couple nice moves. This price action again is really sucky. I wouldn't be entering now because the price action is just awful. I mean, look at this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We don't know where price is going. All right, I'm out of that trade. I'm out of that trade at break even, 25 cents to be exact. And the reason I'm getting out, it's going to be a crapshoot what happens. It could drive completely bullish. Sure, it could. But it very much could go the other way too. And so we're gambling at that point. I don't gamble. So yeah, it might be discouraging to see this blow past everything and just go super bullish. But remember, could have lost it as well. So we held that trade for a long time, probably the last 30 20 minutes. Let's see what happens now in the next 3 minutes before market open. Break even is fine. I'm happy with that, especially after all this garbage. Gave it a shot, gave it its best shot, came back down, going back up, but we're going right back into consolidation. This red line here, like if we entered here, and I was hoping that it'd push back up and at least match that, and now we were in a nice profit. It didn't, so we're out. Let's see where this closed and see if we feel like geniuses or if we feel like idiots. So see price close above here, test, retest, and go. Great. If we see it break down here, we could even take it short. Let's go look. Let's see what we've got going on here. 144 left before market open. Indices are all pushing. but now we're driving back down. So see, so we exit at break even. Now price is breaking back down. We've got 1 more minute left. I don't know about you, but I'm glad not to be in it. DAX continuing to push, but again, a lot of consolidation here. You don't want to trade this box, and that box is the no trade zone because we just have price bouncing between it. I mean, if anything, there might be people that scalp this little move here, which you could if that's your style and that's what you do. 15 pips. I mean, if you have tight spreads and that's your thing, go for it. Tight stop losses, but not my style. So let's see what happens here. Next price the market's about to open. Okay, opened bearish. Yes. So don't we feel good we got out of that trade, yeah? So no trade yet. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens with price. Did make a new higher high, but are we just picking up some stops and gonna come back down? We don't know. Don't count. Dow breaking down hard. Glad we got out of that. Nas just sitting around enjoying the view. Again, this is really awful price action. Let me take a picture of this for my journal. Okay. And then yeah, like if we want to trade, like okay, like there we go. We see something happen now. Like we could, if this comes up, retests, drives down, like we may have a short going on because I'm definitely not trading. This red line doesn't really exist to me anymore. And this one would be right here, right? So that's kind of where I see price now. Those are kind of our boundaries of where we would potentially enter into a trade. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Ooh. All right, with that big drive, I entered. I'm still in. All right, and I'm at break even. So if this comes back, we're just gonna get stopped out. So let's see what happens though. It was a big break, and the reason is we retested it twice, and then we had huge bullish momentum, and that's when I got in. So I got in right here. Let's see if we can continue to push on out of here. Risky trade, yes. I wouldn't be recommending. As I said, recommend patience. The reason I did that though is we saw multiple retests and then a big drive above the level, and so I got in. But very quickly moved to break even as soon as we kept going. So you can see that on my MT5 here. Honestly, that's more like right there, right? Like so. Price is moving so fast, I moved my break even up a little pat into profit so that if I get slipped up, I'm not slipped up and losing money on that. Um, we're continuing to build out of here. We've got 2 minutes left. Price is moving. Big move. $50. I'm out. Could keep going, yes, but with such a big move, would we risk going farther? I'm not going to, so I'm out. Price could keep driving, but again, then we're getting into this area which we already marked. Like we're not going to try to get it fast. And when we have such a big move, what goes up must come down. Would not surprise me. We see a big pullback here. So let's now continue to wait and monitor. Nice trade. Sure. Could you say we got in a bit early? Maybe, but it was our break. We broke. We then came back, retested, indecision, and then big groove up. And when it broke the previous high, I entered again on the one. You probably saw it, but we came up. I did not enter there. Came all the way back down, and when it made a new high, I entered here, and then just took the momentum. So let's go look at what else we've got going on. Okay, Dow doing nothing. NASDAQ looking potentially interesting, honestly, right? Like it just broke this neckline. Let's go look at it over here. Um, yeah, like I'm intrigued. I'd like to. It just was right. It's just right at this level, right? Like so, and it's a big move. Like I would like to see it pull back a little bit before we see it go up. And Dow just doing nothing. So again, we're definitely not trading Dow right now. Consolidation box price is doing nothing, bouncing around it there, looking awful. Wow, look at that. Look at DAX move. And we could go, oh, I wish I'd gotten in. Yeah, but check that big dropout rejection right off there off the 200. That's like 1 minute move there. Um, and price can do that. So take your 50 bucks and run, man. Take your 1R, especially when price moves like that. Just get out. That's a huge candle. Again, we're drifting off this level up here. So again, it is a counter trade. So could we see it hit that 200 now? Now bounce back and start going bearish? Very possible. Very possible. And if you look at the Dow, that's exactly what we're seeing. Even this, check that out. Drove all the way up. If you had an exit in profit there, you're driving back down and you're about to hit break even again, possibly. So again, price could keep driving up out of here. But DAX, when it moves like that, take your money and run. Don't wait around. Dow sucking back up. Again, not doing anything until it closes. Got to be patient. DAX driving back up. NASDAQ, again, I like this. Problem is, it's just this weird level. So it's hard I can't really take it long right here because we've got all of this over here and it just drove right back off of that. So I can't take it long. Even though, as I said, if this had been a little above that, it would have been looking. I still like it for potentially going bullish. But as you've probably seen watching me on this, my opinions between what if it's going to go bullish or bearish literally change on a 2 minute like a 2 minute time frame. Like it's constantly changing based off of what the charts are showing. I'm not here trying to predict what it's going to do tomorrow. Like it's predicting what it's doing and do in the next 15 minutes. Last minute of this second 5 minute candle market open. So we have a retest here on NAS, and we've definitely got room to run, especially up to somewhere like maybe up here, right? So let's see now what price decides to do. If we can start building up out of here, we could potentially go long, but it hasn't yet. So we've got to be patient. Two big wicks on Dow, but that doesn't really mean that it's not going to go long. Again, like wicks don't, candlesticks don't mean anything. Go listen to our podcast on candlestick patterns and why they mean absolute crap. Not only patterns, but just candlesticks in general. Because look at that. Okay, these candlesticks. What do those? Let's look at those on the 15 here. Oh wait, they're not there. You know, this just looks like it came up, kind of a retest this level. Now could it be driving back in? Like, come on, you don't know. They don't show up. So anytime you just look at different time frames, the candles look different. So you can't base anything off candles. So the candles kind of you can use candles to show you momentum, where price has gone, what it's doing, patterns, but don't base your decisions off a look of one single candlestick because it doesn't mean squat. Or as my mom likes to say, diddly squat. All right, so made a lower low here, but now we're getting some momentum out of here, at least trying. Oh, let's get pushed down. Again, not much we can do with Dow because it just went up so high. Like if it came back down over down to the 9, then maybe we could consider, do we pick up another long? I don't know. Did I take a picture of this for my? Did I take a picture of this for my? Huh? Stinking thing. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. So if it comes down and we can see a bit of a pivot and we keep going, but again, we got the 200 up here, 9 down here. I would like to see it come down. If it came down a bit more, then we could consider maybe hopping back on the bandwagon. Um, but I would like to see a legitimate, you know, pullback down to like here, right? And then you could put your stop loss back down here and kind of just re-enter the same trade. Like that's what I would like to see. Getting out now, it's just ditzing around here. Dow still ditzing around here, like it wants to go. Um, it's tried. I would love to take it up here. That'd be a beautiful trade. 1 minute left on this first 15-minute candle of the open. Let's get rid of that one. Again, we're not taking it long. 200's too close. High of day is too close. All of this is too close. Like, we would only take it long if it came all the way. Like, I guess it almost did. You could say it almost did right there, right? But I would have liked to see it a bit farther. Like, somewhere like right here, where it actually crossed the 9 or tried and then rejected off. Dow definitely doing nothing. Nas trying to do something, which it's been trying to do for a while. 20 seconds left. A lot of wicks up here for DAX. Could see it could try to come up here again, get reject, and we start again going short, but we can't short it until, yeah, we really can't short it until here. Just how we trade, like, it's been going up since 10 o'clock in the morning, so 4 hours been going up. Look at it on the 4. I need to pause my live stream. Hold on. No. Let me mute everything. All right, I am back. Had a wife dropped in to say hi. Um, some big moves, right? Some big moves we've just seen, but no moves where we could actually get in. Like we saw US 30 really spike here and then here, but there's no retest. And then when it came to retest, it just dropped through. 7 minutes seconds left here on this 5 minutes. So are we going to get a close below this green line and then maybe retest and push down? Let's find out. Liking the looks of it. If we could break down below here and then, break below and then kind of we could push down on NAS. I want to see this suck up and then push down again. Like I really would like to see this come up and retest this screen. Let's remove some of this stuff so it's easier for us to see too. So here's some of our targets for the day. So okay, so we see it coming up for a retest. I'd like to see it come up a bit higher. Come up to this green box. At least middle of the candle possibly, right here, and then we can see a reject. So this is looking nice. I'd like to see it come up a bit higher if possible. Getting price action pretty bad today. If you look at all this is just a disaster. So pushing back up. Now let's see. So there's our retest. Pushing down. I'm in. So where did I enter? I entered somewhere right around here. Stop loss up there. The reason I entered, wait for the retest. We got the big move. Candle turned red. So closed below, went up, retested, turned red, and as soon as it turned red again, that's when I bought in. So currently a few pips in profit. Let's see if we can drive down now, all the way down to here, possibly low of day. So let's see. Currently running, and you can see my MT4, so I'm currently just up a pip here, up a couple pips. So let's wait and see. While we're waiting, let's go look at these other ones. Okay, so we're seeing DAX. Again, the reason we're not shorting DAX is this looks like it could be coming up because it could be pivot long. I mean, sure, same thing could happen on US 30, but it did big went up, came down, closed below this green line that we had below all these wicks, retested, then drove down. I would like to see it make a new low as well. But I did like how it looks like, and I do think we're going to go bullish. I mean bearish. So I like it. So let's continue to see. NAS kind of right at the 9. Let's see if we can break this line or if we're gonna just push back up. Okay, again, this you could be looking at this as a retest and going long. The reason I'm not is just I'm bearish. I'm leaning bearish in all the indices, which is why the other two look like they're going bearish, and that's why I'm not going to take this long here when I still feel everything's going short. Um, so kind of using the other two as in confluence. I don't feel these are going long. I'm a bit biased, bearish for the day, and so that's where I am right now. So you can see my MT5. There we go. There we go. New lower low. Let's see if we can drive down. I'm at break even. Big move, but then we saw that big wick back. So if we wick back all the way up, could pick enough up to go bullish. I don't want in it. So let's see where we go here. I am at break even. But we did make a new lower low here compared to, well, according to this, it does. If I look at it on this one, I don't think we did. But let's keep seeing. Let's see what we got here. I really would like to see this break down. So 14 seconds left on this candle. Really, if anything, should I have my stop loss here? No, because it very easily could come up here before driving back down. Um, so should I be at break even? That's probably a little FOMO-y of me, I'll admit. All right. So let me put my stop loss where I actually feel a good stop loss would be, which would be above the 9. Um, it's being FOMO of me to put my thing at break even. Could very easily for price to come up here and then keep driving down, right? Now, you know, like where would we expect price to go? Pull back maybe a little bit up, even up to this green line, and then come down. So that's why my stop loss is above there. Just talking through my thought process, I have a little bit of FOMO too. I don't want to lose money today. We're already up. I would like to stay up, but I also don't want to miss out on a nice move because I think we could make a new break for the low of day here, which would be a beautiful trade, and we could make a good chunk of cash on it. So let's see what happens here. Now we're driving back up. Let's go look at everything else. So DAX continuing to break down. Nasdaq really broke down. So again, I am still bearish on everything. Let's see what happens though. We are building a bit of a base here. We've tried to go down twice, hasn't been able to. Really need to push down here, make a little bit of a new lower low. This is looking good. I'd like to see it come down here and break this. 5 seconds left on the 1 minute candle. Again, I enter my trades on the one. There we go. New lower low put in there. So let's now see if we can get enough to continue to push. There we go. There's the drop. Beautiful. Now we could exit here if you want, but I'm in this for a bigger drop. Could move to break even now if you would like. Uh, I'm at break even now, over 1 hour in profit, and now we're driving. I'm definitely holding it. You could exit now though. I'm at $61 in profit right now. But again, I think it's going to go a bit farther. But I'm warning you, we do have this right here. So are we going to bounce, or are we going to make a new low of the day? That is the question. So just be warned, hold at your own risk. I'm debating here whether I get out. I would like to see it just push a little further. It was a big drop though. Just being patient here, and yeah, we could see this thing suck right back up. And if so, we should have gone out down here, right? We did not, and now we could pay for it. Let's see if we can close below this green line, though. If we can, that would be great. If not, maybe we reverse and then keep going, kind of make a triple bottom here, and then push back up. 1 minute left on this candle. Where are we going to close? Are we going to close way up here, knock us out at break even, and then continue to go bullish? The reason I moved that to break even now is because of this huge candle driving down. If we now close like this, bam, knocked out. Um, that's a lot of momentum now to start pushing bullish. I'll admit now I'm feeling a little bit bullish vibes. So now let's wait and see, but where things close. Got hit knocked out by the spread. What was up here? Oh, that's irritating. You can see here, just there. And now it's probably going to drive all the way down. Damn. Well, you win some, you lose some. So perfect call. Did I get greedy? Probably. But I do not like the fact that it came all the way down and now it's driving up. I was hoping that it would drive down, close, come up, and then we'd keep pushing lower. We are not. So let's wait and see. Hey, just got wicked out. Honestly, it would have been a good trade. I have no idea why we got wicked out. Maybe. Is there a spread? I don't know. Anyways, irritating. Maybe we could have put our stop loss above here. We would anticipate price to come back up here, but also after it moved all the way down here, I felt such a big move up here would dictate it was going to be going that way. So that's why I put it there. Moved it after we were all the way down here. But according to this, I was like, you know, there's some here, like right here or something. That's how we got knocked down. But anyways, overall, it was a nice trade. It was a nice trade. We just didn't take profit. We should have, right? Probably, honestly. This is very much a 1 minute trade. Should I have taken that trade? No. But we're in short on DAX now. So I do feel like we're still going to go short, and it's very much a 1 minute trade. Uh, good idea? Probably not. But what we did is we're entered right, essentially right there. Stop loss up there. Can't take it short, and again, we did it right this consolidation, so I'm being an absolute idiot. But let's wait and see if it works out for us, because I do like how it looks on the 1 minute. Did make a new lower low here. So can we keep pushing down? I would love to see us keep pushing down here. I definitely have a chance to get back out of this stupid trade that I took. And I'm just trying to decide whether I should or not. A bit stupid, but it also does. I do feel like we're going bearish and we're driving down. So the fact is, problem is right here. Could it bounce and we go up? Yes, very possibly. That's what I would like to avoid. Yeah, driving up strong, but are we just coming up and retesting and then gotta break down? I still think we're breaking down on everything. Still think everything's breaking down, so I'm staying in it. Let's see if we can make a new lower low here. We're driving. Honestly, probably moving to break even. I just don't. I probably shouldn't have taken the trade, right? Like it's the fact that I'm wondering about it. It was a stupid trade. I took it on the one. I don't really trade on the one. It was taken on the feel that yes, we're breaking down on everything. But probably stupid on my part, right? But I'm in it. I'm at break even now. So, which is also stupid because again, we would expect price to come back up here, but I'm in it now. So let's just see what happens. If we can break down and we win it, good. But should I deserve to win it? That's the question. New low, big new low, coming all the way down to that green box. Low of day. We're gonna crack low of day. I'm out at 50. All right, it was a bit of a risky trade anyway. We can see it pushing that back up. Um, again, those are kind of the worst trades where you take a trade, you win it, but maybe you shouldn't have. Know what I mean? And the reason I exited right there, so we have this level right here and this level right here. So it would make sense that price potentially could bounce here. Definitely not on Dow. Dang. And can you believe we just got wicked out on that? That would have been an amazing trade. But again, shoulda, woulda, coulda. We called it right. So we've been making the right calls. And again, Dow, we made the right call. I shouldn't have entered yet. I should have entered once we retested and broke through again because we didn't really close there. Worked out for us though. And so let's just monitor. Yeah, big breakdown on the NAS and US 30. Oof. Oof. So we're up 1% today. Would have been a lot more if we won this stupid trade, which is just dropping. And it just got wiped out. So that makes me peeved. But anyways, let's see what happens here. We are now going into this big band of hourly support. I think it's hourly support. Yeah, hourly support. Um, we'll see if they can save it here, or if we're just going to now continue build out of here. But the reason why I took it on DAX in the first place, and as I told you, is because I'm definitely short biased on everything. So now DAX, if it breaks down here, the problem is that these are just so many candles. Like you then want to hop in short. Like yeah, I want to short DAX again, because I think we're gonna make a new. Like I think we can go and at least fill these wicks over here. Um, but they're just such big candles. Uh, like that candle, man. I was thinking we should get in that nice little retest, and oh, we could have taken that for so much. But what goes down also has to come back up. Remember that. So let's see though. If this can close now, if we can drive up half of this candle, perhaps come back, retest, we might be able to pick this up for a bit of a bigger move, right? But we need to see some pullback. But the problem is there's such big candles that like where are you gonna pull back? How far does it have to pull back to get into it? Here? Is it just this green box? Like technically that's low. So I don't know. Where would you put your stop loss? Just such a big move. So I would like to see it pull back up to here first, and then potentially a rollover. Yeah, right now there's nothing to trade. It's just like catching a falling knife. So I'm probably going to stop our stream right now, go help set some holds, and who knows? Well, we're up 1% on the day, so not fussing, right? Our one trade that we got 0.5% on, should we have? Probably not. But point is, we did have good bias for why we took it, and I do trade on the one occasionally, but I would not have like it was right at this line of resistance. So was it a good trade? No. Most dangerous type, right? But we're 1% up for the day. So great day. Great trading, and we'll see you back here next week. Will not be streaming.